Well, hello, hello, welcome. We're going through the workbook for students. Oh, yeah, of A Course in Miracles. And I hope that wherever you find yourself in this process, that you're learning a great deal. I think that it's inevitable that anyone that starts the workbook learns something, no matter how far they get. Yeah. Uh, The first time many of us start this, we get into it, and there's always an excitement to begin, for sure, right? There's something about A Course in Miracles that has drawn us in. There's something that we recognize in ourselves deep down, and there is a recognition that this material is going to help. It's going to serve not just us, but every living thing. And deep down, we know this when we begin. Now, that doesn't mean that the first time that you go through this, you march right through lesson 1 through 365 and you're done. In fact, when you finish, if you get to the end the first time through, and a lot of people don't, you realize, yeah, I better go through that again. It's the beginning. No, really, there's no end to this material because there's no end to spirituality. In other words, there's no end to love. It's endless. It's limitless. You are endless. You are limitless. Lesson 209, which we're covering today, talks about this. And there is the overarching idea for this review period that you're not a body. The idea, again, I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. Yeah. Even has a rhyme in there for resonance, for mnemonic ease, for the ease of recall. And that's the point, is to recall. All we're doing on the spiritual path is remembering. What we in the world consider personal growth, what we label personal development, is not in fact a development at all, nor actually, and contrary to what people may say, nor is it growth in any way. Each of us is perfect as we are, as we're created. What we're doing with these practices, with these thought systems that we label personal development and personal growth, is we are uncovering the barriers. We're peeling away the veils that exist between ourselves and the experience of love. We've interposed all of those barriers, by the way. So, having placed them there ourselves, we can remove them ourselves, and we must remove them ourselves. No one else can do it for you. Now, to some people, that might sound really liberating and uplifting, and it's intended to be. Right? You are in charge of your own spirituality. Thank God, right? And to some, they may really not like that. They may wish to have everything washed away instantly in one heartbeat without having to do any of the work. And only you will know which side you're coming down on right now. And it's likely, right, if you're coming down on the side of this being a liberating thing, that you're in control here and that there's no one else out there. If that excites you, there was most certainly, right, a time where it did not. And we've all been there. There's this realization of, oh shit, you mean I got to do all the work myself? Well, yes and no, of course, because you have help. This is what the Holy Spirit is for. This is what your guides are for. Yeah, this is what the teacher is for, to provide help and assistance, and it's available in many more places than we recognize. All we have to do is ask. That's a beautiful thing. Because yes, we make the decision for love, for God, on our own all the time. But in the helping us to make that decision, to show up in a loving and forgiving mindset when we really don't feel like it, yeah, there's a lot of help available, human and non-human. Yeah. Here in the world, there are human teachers. There are people like myself who are here to serve as guides. We're here to help. We cannot do the work for you. What we can do is certainly encourage. We can certainly prod if that's what's needed. Lovingly, of course, because this is all love. It's all about love. We point the way and invite and encourage you to walk the way with us, So you're not alone. In fact, ultimately, none of us is alone. We're one, and one is one. It does not mean separate, doesn't mean 8 billion. It doesn't mean 50 billion. It doesn't mean millions and billions and God knows how many large numbers of individual beings. That's not the way it is. It's the way it appears in the world, but we're not a body. Spirit is one. So we sit with in lesson 209, as well as all of the review periods for this particular review period, which goes up to lesson 220, we sit with the idea, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And I invite you to sit with that idea as long as you like. Eyes closed works really well, but it's not required. Meditation can be accomplished in the midst of daily life. In other words, ACIM workbook lesson practice can be accomplished in the midst of daily life. It is great and beneficial to take some time out of that, but let's say you're not able to today. Let's say you forget, no problem. As soon as you remember, wherever you are, bring your mind back to the idea, I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. And then lesson 209 has a review idea. We're following the same format here in lessons 201 through 220 here. And it's a review of lesson 189. I feel the love of God within me now. I hope that you do. Yeah, I feel the love of God within me now. And if you do nothing else, sit and remind yourself of that idea. Recite it. You can do it out loud. You can write it. You can speak it into a professional microphone if you want to, or you can just recite it silently in here. I feel the love of God within me now. And sit with that. And the workbook offers a few comments. There are 4 italicized sentences here in this review period. So what I'd like to do is go through them all one at a time. The love of God is what created me. Yes, God is love. Love extends itself. It is creative. It is the force of life and creation. It's love. It extends itself and only itself. It's creative. The love of God is everything I am. This is what the workbook goes on to say. Love is only capable of extending itself. And incidentally, it is maximal. The Course says all expressions of love are maximal, all. This is why the Course stresses throughout there is no order of difficulty in miracles. They're all alike, they're all one. One is not bigger than another. Love simply is love. All expressions of love are maximal. It only extends itself. It is not capable of extending itself in different quantities. One person gets more than the other. It's not like that. There's no division. There's no separation. And another thing to talk about this particular sentence, that the love of God is everything I am. It's everything you are. Mm-hmm. It's very wonderful that this is the case. This is why A Course in Miracles says God is, period. Yeah. This means God is. What is implied here is that only God is. The love of God, therefore, is everything that you are. Nothing more, and definitely nothing less. What else? What else is there? Only God is, yes. What else is there? Answer, nothing. Moving on in the italicized portion of the workbook, the love of God proclaimed me as his son. Now, if you're just dropping in to this stream of videos, you, of course, will notice that A Course in Miracles uses the word son to refer to the extension of God, us. In other words, we're the Son of God, God's creation. This is simply a word in the end. Words are symbols. They are not the things that they represent, nor are the things that they represent actual things. Therefore, the Course goes on to quite accurately state that they're twice removed from reality, and they are. Right? A word is simply a symbol of a symbol. So if you prefer on your own to insert another word for son of God, such as child, right? You can make it completely, right, inclusive of all genders, or you can say daughter. It really doesn't make any difference. Just understand that this is a symbol. The Son of God is the extension of God. Love extends only itself. It creates itself. God is the creator. It's life itself. And lastly, here, as we follow the italicized portion here in the workbook, the love of God within me sets me free. Yeah, it is within you. It is you. Again, the love of God is, of course, within you because it is you. It is who you are. It is who everyone is. It sets you free. Here in the world where human beings race around thinking they're separate, identifying with the ego, identifying with a false sense of separated self, which is nothing more than a simple mistake. The love of God sets us free. When we accept that the love of God is within each of us right now, we set ourselves free. We set not just ourselves free, but every living thing free. This is all that is, and spirituality is very much a process of allowing all that is to simply be. So I invite you to practice this. In truth, there's nothing else to practice, but allowing what is to simply be. Well, this is fun. And I really appreciate, I have to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to these videos and for watching and for all your comments, questions, all of that. This is a real joy for me, and it is an absolute honor to be here to help, to guide, and to deliver the message of the Holy Spirit. So it is always my honor. Thank you for joining me here today. And I hope that you found this material highly valuable, because the love of God is within you right now. It's all you are. That, my friends, should be a very encouraging thought. And we'll see you next time.